Hawaiian Islands, the Orient, contact time for everyone, 26.25.
And Talk 6 is taking fire. Okay, divert south of the river. Divert. I see you come to the red train. I just called him. You said damn well.
Since the dawn of the first age, by the elders it was foretold, a mighty few that would rise when needed most. Their words would inspire enlightenment among the common. As it was prophesied, it has come to pass. Everybody has a podcast.
So I get home from work today. I worked a little late, walked in, I sat down, I'm cooking dinner or whatnot, and she's watching The Biggest Loser, you know. I don't know, you know, fuck, it's a show about fat people, of course, you know, so, you know, I've never really watched it. So I sat down, and I had an epiphany while I was watching Biggest Loser.
Now, is an epiphany a black girl's name, or is it a realization?
It could be. It could be both. Tonight it's going to be a realization, and then hopefully later it'll be a big black girl. But no, I'm sitting there eating my Eckrich sausage, watching Biggest Loser, you know, and I'm you know, not immune to the irony there. And I'm watching it, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know, because one of my biggest banes of all society is what I see on social media now. Like, it may just be my age. I don't know, do you guys experience that at all? Just like social media just pisses you off what people post, and like you just want to confront them.
One like is one respect.
You know, Ryan, how about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, one swag equals one like, but most definitely, I agree, and that's actually, I had been making notes the past week or so about stuff I wanted to talk about, and something very closely related to this, actually.
Okay, so
what did you see?
Well, I'm watching Biggest Loser, right? And I mean, in the show, the pretense of the show is actually not bad. You know, after I kind of digested what the show is about, it takes people that are dangerously obese and puts them in like a fat camp, and they televise them, and they demean them and belittle them, and they have them all these world-class trainers.
You know, this is like the Heavyweights movie, but televised.
Charlie Rackerson, you are the fattest kid in camp. That's a sweet Ben Stiller.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's great in that movie.
You, Gerald Garner, 149 pounds.
So I'm watching this show, and I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, this show means well, you know, but you're still exploiting these fat people, you know. So it's a reality show. So I'm like, you know, out of all the reality shows you watch, it's probably not the worst. But I start thinking about like the other shit that's reality shows and how reality TV is transcending into social media into my life. I'm not watching it unless my wife's watching on DVR, but I'm pulling up my Facebook and I'm seeing narcissism everywhere. Like, everyone just thinks that they're like their own reality show. People post on Facebook and sit around and watch for likes. And this weird self-absorbed, like, that's their only life. They stare at their phone nonstop. And I see it all the time. I see people, they'll go out to dinner, they'll sit down, everyone's glued to, you know, their phones. They're looking at, you know, whatever social media they're using. And I really think, you know, if I'm blaming it on the media, but I really think people watch reality shows and they're like, oh man, you know, like, you know, I don't know, Kardashian, you know? I mean, I know that her stepdad's Bruce Jenner, and he was an athlete, but I'm fairly certain she's famous because her mom was married to a lawyer once, and she fucked a black guy.
And she took a big black...
Yeah, you know? Good for him, you know? But anyway, like, so she's famous for that, right? So you have these other people who are living empty, you know, hopelessly empty lives that are basically pretending like they have their own reality show.
Yeah.
On Facebook. Yeah. And these are people that, before I friend requested them, I respected them. You know, I liked them. Like, I'd met them in person and thought, hey, you know, they're pretty cool. You know, I liked them enough not to deny their friend request.
Yeah.
But now these people are just turning into just total self-absorbed, like, everyone cares what their cat Mittens is doing or how tough their day was.
Yeah.
And, you know, and all their inspirational shit they put on Facebook, and then 5 minutes later, their life's over. I mean, I really think that there's a connection there. I think, you know, some art imitates reality and reality imitates art. I think reality TV and mass media is starting to carry over into social media.
Well,
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, no, I have a perfect example of that real quick. I love my sister to death. She's married to the nicest, she was married to the nicest, like, most respectable dude on the planet. He made $45K a year.
Which in Waco, Texas is like 70 anywhere else.
Well, no, he lived in Gatesville, so he's like a millionaire.
It's like 80 in Gatesville,
Yeah. And you know, he bought a house for her. He worked 8 to 5. It was at a lumber yard. He was a manager. And
so you're saying he really laid the wood to your sister?
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. So My sister started watching The Bachelorette.
Oh God,
2 years later, she was divorced.
Jesus.
I asked my sister, I said, why did you divorce this man? And bear in mind, I love myself. I hate myself a lot of times because I'm very self-deprecating, but I love myself as well.
I'm also self-defecating.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after Freebirds.
And Atkins bars.
I literally sat her down. I said, why did you divorce like this man? This man that like I kind of want to be like. He's nice. Everybody enjoys his company. He has tons of friends, and he took care of you. And he didn't want anything but to like bang you and feed you, and like make sure your life was okay. Her response was literally, "He didn't challenge me. He was boring." And I contribute that directly to The Bachelorette.
That's also a cycle of unhappiness. That's what that is.
Yeah, she's perpetuating her own unhappiness.
Yeah.
And she's still not happy to this day. She's gone through 3 or 4 dudes. She's not happy. She's fucking, I hope to God she never listens to this podcast. But she's just not. She's a bad person.
The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Clark's sister has been
Becky.
It's actually his brother. And but no, she's genuinely unhappy. Not a good person because she can't learn to live within reality because she watches so much television that programs her to not understand what reality is. It's bullshit, it's fighting, it's boredom, and that's what marriage is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the whole point of television is to sensationalize whatever you're watching. If it was just normal, if it was actual reality, you wouldn't watch it. You wouldn't watch it. So everything, I think we can all agree most reality TV is absolutely scripted.
Derek goes to his shift at Whataburger at 6 a.m.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit.
Or Clark sits at home and does his finance. Like nobody's going to watch that. So obviously you have hyperbole in reality. So it's not real reality in the first place. At one point it probably was, and then obviously it got overproduced, and then people started writing, but my issue is like I do my absolute best to avoid it, and I do. I love my wife very, very much, so I will sit down and pretend to give a crap about what she's watching, just to spend time with.
Well, yeah, she's quality. Like
she does the same thing to me when I'm watching hockey. Yeah, like who in Texas watches hockey? I'm that asshole, right? So I'll talk to you about slashes and line changes, and people just stare at me until I'm blue in the face. But like she'll do that for me, so I'll sit down sometimes, and like you brought up The Bachelor, she'll watch The Bachelor, and she already knows. Like she looks it up online. She knows who the winner is. She knows that they don't stay together. They don't get married. Spoiler alert.
Well, it's every Super Bowl we watch. I mean, I go over there. I've gone for the past 2 years. I've gone to Billy's home for the Super Bowl, and it's been the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet until Super Bowl starts. And that is nobody's vote, but his wife's. And it's great. It's fun because it's just like Billy loves his wife. And we're there to like support her through Puppy Bowl until it's time.
Dude, it's not just Puppy Bowl though. It's a kitten halftime cheerleaders.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're so adorable. But no, she knows it's stupid. She knows it's a farce, but she watches it, right? So I can actually kind of rationalize that, and it's kind of like whenever we watch pro wrestling. When we used to watch pro wrestling, or still do, some people do. We always, none of us ever professed it was real, but it's still fun. It's like theater, So I get that. But what pisses me off is whenever I'll see like social media stuff, right? And like I've actually thought about like just deleting my Facebook, right? I've talked about it. I've made solemn threats to myself. I'm just going to delete my Facebook. And there's a lot of people I keep in contact with solely on Facebook.
It's so hard. I deleted my Facebook for like 2 hours one time. I couldn't talk to you or Ryan. I was like, what would I do?
Yeah, Clark, your Facebook lasted about a day.
Yeah, I mean, I already get like 7,000 texts a month. If I deleted Facebook, I mean, I would like triple that number just with you guys alone. But I'm torn because I basically, I guess you unfriend or defriend on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past with people I was just like done with.
But it's noticeable.
Oh, I've gotten personal messages like, what's going on? Are you mad at me? Blah, blah, blah. And these are people that I really don't associate with. So it's a slippery slope. But I'm seeing this like self-absorbed, narcissistic, like, and for me, this is a soapbox, because I'm really big on you're not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
You're
not a special butterfly.
Yeah. I mean, you're a carbon-based life form on a planet of, in a galaxy with millions of things just like you.
Yep.
I mean, you're not special. Dad lied. He just tried to tell you that so you wouldn't take it in the stinker in the back seat of Bobby's car.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's wrong message to give.
You have to realize your own insignificance to truly make your way in life. And I see, you know, I pay attention to politics, and all it does is piss me off nowadays. But you know, I see this in society. Like, we are so self-absorbed with everything now, and I catch myself sometimes doing it. Like, I'll post something funny on somebody's status, something completely just outlandish and just dumb, but I'll find myself going back to it to see, like, I get any likes on that? Like, I'm seeing myself start to do that crap, you know? So, like, I don't know, Ryan, I mean, you said you had a similar story, but, like, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, I can't be the only one.
Well, no, I agree with you. The biggest problem I have with this newfound narcissism is that they want this attention for nothing. See, I've got no problem if you want to, like, create or put something out and then expect feedback and want. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's like we want it for nothing, you know? And that is reality TV, right? These people, they don't have a talent. We're just watching them, and they're famous for nothing. So, you know, these young people coming up, boys and girls, you know, they too want to be famous for nothing. No one wants to put out work. I mean, come on, it's narcissistic. We have a podcast of ourselves talking, and we try to get other people to do it. I get it, but hey, this is actually a lot of work. We put a lot of work into it. You know, so I'm okay with it if people will actually produce something, you know, create.
Well, you know who I'm really impressed with actually is I don't know if you guys are friends with Righteous Jolly on Facebook.
No.
Yes, Righteous Jolly. We interviewed Righteous Jolly. What episode was that, Clark?
Oh God, I don't know what number it was.
Must have been before me.
It was directly before you actually.
Thanks
it was like
for making it awkward.
an episode before. Righteous Jolly was Gemini Rising.
Oh, okay. I listened to that show.
Righteous Jolly and the whole crew they did like a web series before that was really big.
When did we discover them, Clark? It was like 2006.
Yeah, 2006. We were not working. Billy was trying to fire us. He
and
couldn't figure out how.
Everybody Has a Podcast, episode 12. We interviewed Gemini Rising, which is a web series we found in like 2006. It's awesome.
Yeah, they put in some serious work, and it was really good, really good. But it's not even that impresses me about Righteous Jolly. It's what I literally read today on Facebook from Righteous Jolly's Facebook status. I liked it. I hope he noticed. He owns a series of bars in his area. I think he lives in Pennsylvania. Is that right? I don't know if he lives in Pennsylvania or not, but
he's a Quaker.
Yeah, no, but like he's just like a fucking good guy, nice guy. Never heard him say a bad word about anybody. He opens a series of bars. He's offering jobs. He's fucking busting his ass, man. And he, you know, he's involved in all these different projects. He's like got a band. He did Gemini Rising for a while. Like, that guy's working his ass off. So you know what? He deserves validation. Everybody has a podcast officially supports Righteous Jolly.
Yeah, well, the man is a machine of production. He's always producing something, whether it's creative, business wise with his bars. Think about if everyone on planet Earth had that drive. And I'm not saying everybody has to, right? It's cool. Not everybody is built the same way. I get it.
Even if they just did one thing, like Righteous Jolly is doing like 20 things.
Right.
If somebody was doing one thing, that'd be great.
Well, and I think what's important and kind of the root of the issue for me, the root cause for me is the intent, right? And sometimes I assume what the intent is, and I'm probably generalizing at times and being a cynical asshole. But like, for instance, this, you know, Righteous Jolly guy, his intent is either to entertain or make monetary gains through a business. You know, to me, the intent there is a healthy one, right? And I respect that.
Yeah, either entertainment or money, they're both legitimate, and he has the right to pursue.
It's the same thing like when you see a Facebook status, and we know we've talked about vague booking before.
Yep.
We know the
FML.
Yeah, we know the intent of this is just pure attention, just so you feel a little bit more special on this planet. But you're providing nothing back other than I'm just needy and pathetic, right? So we go into that like us doing this show. Like we do this, number one, because it's a blast, right? Number two is because we get to hang out and have a good bro time. And number three is because, you know, if we can make some of you people laugh or just shake your heads from now and again, like that's our payback, right? We just like hanging out and having fun. But with that being said, like we don't just sit here and talk about all of our problems and how pitiful things are or go for attention, you know, like the Couch Boys do. I mean, that's like their entire show. Their entire show is just terrible,
It's just a plea for money. Speaking of which, Amazon affiliate link.
Yeah.
Part of what you never had is gone and can't be taken back.